Okay guys, here's dinner. We have some sauteed asparagus with a lemon pepper on it, some cantaloupe, a wrap. I'm having a veggie wrap, but everyone else is having turkey, avocado, and bacon. And then some potato chips. I am making French dip sandwiches for dinner tonight, so I'm doing the roast in the crock pot. I have a 2-pound roast that I lightly salted and peppered. Now I'm going to add a packet of onion soup mix, a little bit of garlic powder, that's probably about half a teaspoon there, and then about 4 cups of beef broth, a couple good shakes of Worcester sauce, and then I'm just going to cook this on high for a couple hours and turn it down to low for about 5 hours. Okay, so the roast is all done, and I just shredded it up and put a little bit of extra juice in there. Then I'm heating up some olive oil because I'm going to put in an onion sliced into little half-moon shapes and some sliced up red peppers. And I'm just going to stir these around and cook them. These are going to go on top of our sandwiches. Okay, I got the meat on the buns, and now I'm going to put on the peppers. There we go. These were, the roast didn't have a lot of meat. It just wasn't a very big roast, so the veggies are nice to pad out the sandwich. Plus, then you get more veggies. Now I'm going to put on some cheese. The cheese is on, and now I'm going to pop it in the broiler, which I turned to high for just like 2 or 3 minutes. Alright, there's the sandwich all done. And then I made some broccoli salad, which I've made before. I'll leave the video down below. And then a pasta salad. This just has a couple veggies in it, tomatoes, peppers, and broccoli, and then a little bit of cheese. Well, surprise, surprise, it's Friday night and we're having homemade pizza. This time I put a little bit of different stuff on there. It's got spinach, tomatoes, green peppers, and pepperoni. And somebody is ready to eat. Okay, here's dinner. Got the pizza, leftover broccoli salad, and leftover pasta salad. Okay, so I'm doing Easter prep. Well, I can. I'm doing apple salad today, the day before Easter. So I'm going to make the dressing for the apple salad first. So I'm going to add in 2 cups of Cool Whip or any other kind of whipped topping that you want to add. You can use regular heavy cream mixed with powdered sugar, just like a homemade whipped cream. The only problem with that is if you do it overnight, it tends to wilt a little bit. Then I'm adding in 1/4 cup of, it says the recipe calls for Miracle Whip. I just use mayonnaise. 5 tablespoons of powdered sugar. This is the recipe that my aunt and uncle used to make all the time for holidays, and then my parents started making it, and now I'm making it, and so I'm adding different things to the recipe. So the first thing that I'm adding that isn't in the recipe is 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then I'm just going to mix up the dressing here before I add in all the fruits. So I have 5 chopped up Granny Smith apples here. You can use any kind of apples you want. This recipe is very easygoing, just like my family. So if you have an apple you prefer, use that one instead. So I'm going to mix in the apples here. Then I have about 1 pound of grapes that I cut in half. 2 bananas that I just kind of sliced into little half-moon shapes. And then the reason all us kids loved this apple salad, about a couple handfuls of mini marshmallows. And then the other Courtney change that I made is I'm adding, I'm not sure how much I cut up here, probably about a 1/2 cup or so of chopped pecans, which is completely optional. It's very good, but you really don't need it in here. Okay, then you just want to toss this around gently, get everything evenly coated, and then cover this and chill it in the fridge for at least a couple hours, but it's really best to have it sit overnight. Okay, so for my grandma's baked beans, I have 5 pieces of thick cut bacon here that I'm just going to saute up and get crisp. Bacon is cooked and I've drained off most of the fat, and now I'm going to add in 2 cans of Van's pork and beans. My mom and grandma said this is the only brand of pork and beans that works the right way, so if you can find them and you want to make this recipe, use this kind. This is where the recipe gets a little weird. My mom says just give it a squirt of ketchup, which is usually what I do, about that much. Then she says just a little bit of yellow mustard. I usually do about that. Okay, now my mom says to just add lots of brown sugar. So I usually start with a 1/2 cup, and then if I need more, I add it. So if I do add more to this, I'll let you guys know. Okay, yeah, it needs a little extra. I've got like a loosely packed about like, I don't know, maybe a third a cup here of brown sugar that I'm adding. Add your cooked bacon back in. Okay guys, I transferred it to a round baking dish because I didn't feel like dealing with the big Dutch oven right now. And then I just added 4 uncooked strips of bacon in it. I'm going to put it in a 350 oven for about an hour. So I'm making cheesy potatoes also to go with this. The first thing you need is 1 can of cream of chicken soup. Oh, that looks gross. 2 cups total of sour cream. 1 entire stick of butter melted. Whew, this is why you just eat this on holidays. Then you're just going to mix that all together. And 2 cups of shredded cheese. And just mix this all together. I honestly think you don't need to add the butter to this. I'm using a different recipe, and if I was doing this, I would just drizzle butter on the top. So I don't think you need the butter in this mixture here. Now you're going to mix in 24 ounces of frozen hashed potatoes. Like this, I think they're called Southern style hash browns. Okay guys, I'm going to make a Crock-Pot ham for Easter. So I'm going to put in half a cup of packed brown sugar at the bottom of the Crock-Pot. I'm just going to kind of even that out there. I'm going to, this is my Aunt Linda's recipe, but of course I can't leave anything alone, so I'm going to deviate from it and put a couple pineapple rings at the bottom. Now I'm going to take another half cup of brown sugar and rub it all over the sides and the top of the ham. Then add 3/4 cup of apple juice in the side. Okay, now you just cook it on high for 4 hours or low for 7 to 8 hours. Here's our Easter dinner. Our cheesy potatoes are all done. I made a cherry pie, which I'm pretty proud of because I made the crust from scratch, even though it's cherry pie filling. The apple salad I showed you guys, the baked beans I showed you guys, and the ham all done. Eric cut it so nicely.
What else are your parents bringing, honey?
My parents are bringing deviled eggs and rolls.
Awesome.
And then there's some homemade whipped cream in the fridge for the pie. Okay, here's dinner's leftovers. Basically, we took the old rolls from yesterday and put some cheese and ham on them, and then just the leftover sides from yesterday.